What is up, everyone? It's me, Mark the Monster from the Don't Say the F Word podcast and the leader of the Puppet World Order. Today is a special Don't Say the F Word podcast where we will be live with David Feldman, the owner and boss of the BKFC, that's right, bare-knuckle fighting championship. Definitely no F word in the bare-knuckle fighting championship. They're as real as it gets. They have had quite the run since starting off in 2018. We have some amazing fight posters here from the Donnybrook Company, and we will be talking to the CEO, president, and boss man of the BKFC, David Feldman. That best boss on the planet is what we got going in the comments here. We got Mark Hunt is hanging out in the comments, checking us out here live on Instagram. It is greatly appreciated, everybody checking us out. If you're not live on Instagram, you must be checking us out on Rumble, Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, or wherever it is you're checking us out at. We appreciate you for being here. And we got David Feldman ready to join us right out the gate. He made him in here. Let me see if I can work these cables out. Hey, I think I got him. Boss man.
What's going on?
Not much, sir. I'm living the dream. Thank you for joining us. Am I the first puppet to interview you?
I mean, the first person that actually looks like a puppet. There's a lot of puppets that have interviewed me.
I feel like that's a wicked burn that I'm not going to call out who may or may not be a puppet in the world of combat sports. But I'm glad I'm the first furry one, at least.
There you go, my man.
A quick question before I get the big guy, Jeremy, in here with you. Is there room in the BKFC for a puppet? Is there puppet bare-knuckle?
Why not?
There we go. I guess I got to start doing some push-ups and get my cardio going. And maybe a few weeks ago, I talked to Austin Trout, and he had a Kermit the Frog puppet. And I'm pretty sure I can starch Kermit inside of the first round.
All right, let's give it a shot. We'll do it on Knuckle Mania.
There we go. Hey, you guys heard it right here. That's breaking news. Ariel Helwani's never broke news like this. Mark the Monster versus Austin Trout's Kermit the Frog. Knuckle Mania. Let's go. Puppet World Order. We're going to take over BKFC next. David, thank you for joining us. Jeremy's about to hop on. And thank you, everyone, for checking out me, Mark the Monster, on the Don't Say the F Word podcast. I'm out. Bye. David, how's it going, sir?
What's going on, brother? How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic, man. I am absolutely fantastic. I'm freezing up here in Cleveland, but I'm fantastic.
Yeah, man, it's pretty cold here in Philly as well. It's actually snowing. Snowing for the first time this year.
So we've had one decent snowfall, and then nothing, and now we got a little dusting out there. It's just cold as shit. It's just cold.
So cold, man. It's stupid cold.
So, you're a Philly native, right?
Yes, I am.
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Is that where your love for combat sports started, in Philly?
Yeah, my dad was a professional boxer. His record was 21-2 with 19 knockouts as a professional boxer, and then he trained 7 world champions. A lot of them lived at our house with us, and we had our house set up as like a training camp. My mom got hurt really bad, and she wasn't living with us anymore, so my dad kind of turned our house into like a training camp, and we saw everything, and it was a love-hate thing, right? Like, it was forced growth, so it was like a love of being around it, but it was a hate of being around it as well. But it ended up that this is where I went in and out of combat sports, and this is where I ended up.
When did you start promoting combat sports?
I started back in early mid-2000s. I did a couple partnerships with my brother, and then I went out into Arizona and started promoting a lot of fights out there, promoting a lot of fights in Philadelphia, again, boxing, mixed martial arts. And then I was just like, man, this is like what I didn't like about fighting. Like I saw everything about it, what I didn't like about the promotional end. And you know, what I always say is, I have a saying that I say, like, there's people in fighting and there's fight people, right? And I'm a person in fighting. Like, I love fighting and I'm in it, and a lot of the fighters are in it, a lot of the managers are in it, and then there's fight people. And fight people are just, they're real tough to deal with. And that's what I got sick of. And what can I start on my own that isn't infected, if you will? It's not infected by the bad people in boxing or mixed martial arts. And I just wanted to create my own lane, something I thought was going to be more fun and exciting and just different, just something completely different. And that's when I started it. And it's, you know, never came off the gas pedal, hit 28 really brick walls. People said no, 28 different states, and just I knew there was a place for this in combat sports, and we were able to make it happen. And you know, here we are.
You know, tons of comments are coming up here in this live stream about taking combat sports to a new level, and BKFC is kind of where it's at. And something different is one of the key things I really want to talk to you about, because I don't know what event it was when I first seen BKFC, but it was polarizing. The presentation was very different. And even I've been a long-time combat sports fan, boxing back in the day, MMA. I did MMA for a few years, early 2000s, amateur level in Ohio, never a high level, was never going to be an elite athlete. But you watch MMA and it's a good TV presentation, not necessarily a great live experience, depending upon the arena and the seating.
Yep.
I watch BKFC and the presentation you have, the round ring that you have, to me, it feels like it's like very inspired by like sumo. You have the ring set up, the pit, and things are it's very easy to see your combatants. It's easy to see the action no matter where you are. Was that a intentional thing? Was that part of the business plan of you wanted something that was going to feel special to those there live and those at home watching?
Yeah, well, you know what it really was? It was like, I got to make the most fast-paced, exciting combat sport on earth. Like, that's what I got to do. And how am I going to do that? Okay, let's shorten the rounds up, right? It's got to be more fast-paced. Let's take the fucking corners out so there's nowhere to run or hide, right? There's nowhere to run or hide. Now, let's start them 3 foot from each other, 2 4-foot lines separated by. Let's have the action start. And then, hey, let's bonus them if they stay inside the middle circle. Like, let's double their fucking purse if they stay inside the middle circle. And, you know, we did everything that we did on this rule set was for nonstop excitement and action. And really, man, like, I've been to, I don't know, thousands of combat sports in my life. Like, I've been in this for 50 years, man. And I've seen anything that you've ever seen in combat sports. And I swear, man, I just sit on the edge of my seat every single time because it's so fast-paced. It's so unpredictable. There's nothing else in the world like it.
Whenever, I think one of the first fighters I interviewed was Pitbull Smith. And he pointed out to me the line and how close they started out together. And it didn't necessarily register with me that there's no gap. You're starting that fight within striking distance. And to me, it's like that you just have to be first. And that action is pushed right out the gate. These guys got to come. There's no feeling out. It's when they say knuckle up, you better be knuckled up. You got to go.
Forget even about that. You got to be at the pre-fight meeting when I meet with the fighters and I praise them and I tell them, man, like literally, I'm like, listen, man, thank you guys so much for making weight. Thank you guys for doing what you had to do. Thank you guys for turning in the medicals. Thank you for being the professionals that you are. Now, go in that ring and fight your fucking asses off. And then I say, listen, I want to bonus you guys. Like, a lot, I'm giving more bonuses than anyone else out there. Like, the last fighter meeting I did, listen, I gave 8 bonuses last time. I gave 12 bonuses that night. I said, I just want to bonus you guys. But I want you guys to fight your fucking asses off. And then I say it again. Like, all right, fight your fucking asses off. All right, fight your fucking ass. Hey, guys, what do I want from you? To fight your fucking... And they fight their asses off. Because not just they're doing it for me, they're doing it for the fans. They know. I say, listen, If we fight our asses off every single time, we're going to get a big TV deal. Everybody in the world's going to watch us. And guess what? You guys are going to get double, triple, quadruple the money you're getting. You just got to go out and fight your asses off. And listen, if you go out there and fight your ass off and you get knocked out, you come back. If you go out there, you fight your ass off, you lose the decision, you come back. You go out there, you run, you dance, you hold, you don't fight, you're never coming back, and I don't care who you are. You fight your ass off, you come back. You can lose 5 in a row. Fight your ass off, you're coming back. And you're going to get more money because you go out and fight your ass off for me and for the fans, especially for the fans, right? You go and do what you have to do because that's why people are excited about this. They're not excited about it just because we have a round ring and just because it's bare knuckle. They're excited about it because it's so exciting. There's nothing else out there like it. And why? It ain't me. It ain't the ring. It ain't the pounds. It's because the fighters fight their asses off.
Would you say that's priority number one in BKFC is to fight your ass off, no matter what your role is? If you're the fighter, if you're a cameraman, if you're the audio guy, it's fight your ass off because you guys are destined to be number one in combat sports?
100%, man. But I mean, that's what they got to do. And listen, man, I want to pay these guys more money. Like, this is not like, I'm not being like any other promotion out there. We're saying that we need to make, we're only going to pay whatever percent. Listen, the fighters get paid more than anybody out there. I get paid last, right? We get paid last. Fighters get paid first. And if they keep fighting their ass off, they're going to get more and more. Why? Because more sponsors are coming in. We're going to sell more tickets. We're going to get a TV deal. All these things are all in the works. And it's all because the fighters fight their asses off. That's what it's about. We could have the best ring in the world and the best production in the world and girls hanging from, ribbons and anything in the world, right? But the fighters don't fight their asses off. We don't have shit. So they go out there and they fight their asses off. And that's why we are the fastest growing combat sport in the world. There's nothing else out there as exciting as this. And I don't care if you're the biggest boxing fan in the world and you're the biggest MMA fan in the world. It doesn't matter. The truth be told, there's nothing more exciting than this. Now, listen, they might not be all the best fighters in the world. They might not be all the most skilled fighters in the world. They got more balls than anybody else out there. Men and women in our fighting got more balls than anybody else in any other combat sport athlete out there. And that's why we're the fastest growing combat sport on the planet.
I gotta agree with you 100%. Like I said, I've been a combat sports fan forever, but I look at the state of MMA and the UFC. As a fan, I've fallen off quite a bit because a lot of that excitement is gone. That grittiness of what they were as they were coming up, and you had the icons of the sport, that laundry list of names, and it felt different. It wasn't so sanitized. It was, pre-Reebok deal was peak UFC, in my opinion. But I'm in my 40s, so that's going to be my opinion, I think. I look at BKFC, and it still has that raw combat sports feel. It's people going out there, and they're fighting their asses off to win. They're not. I'm not seeing anyone trying to point their way to a victory in BKFC. It's that that dog in everybody to go out there and scrap and win and be that prize fighter and get those bonuses.
Yeah. Man, listen, man. Here's the other reason. There's nothing else more relatable in the world, in any sport, not combat sport, any sport in the world. Why? I know that you said that you've done amateur MMA and boxing. Had you not, what I do is I go around the room and I go, do you know what Owen Pilata is? No. Do you know what a Darce choke is? No. And I don't either. I heard of them. I don't know what they are. Do you know what a bare knuckle punch in the face is? Yes. Do you know what a bare knuckle punch in the face is? Yes. Does your little daughter know what a bare knuckle punch in the face is? Yes. Does your mother? Does your brother? Does your sister? Does your father? Yes, 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 yes. Everybody in the world, black, white, Chinese, man, woman, 4 years old, 80 years old, you know what a bare knuckle punch in the face is. You want to know why? Because you've seen it or you've done it. And second is, as a working class American, you get up every day and you get punched in the face. And you have to decide whether you're going to keep going, you're going to work your ass off for your family, or you're going to lay back down and not go get what's yours out there. And that's why bare knuckle fight is more relatable than anything else in the world. It is more real life than anything else in the world. There's nothing like it. There's nothing that the
Yeah.
fan, the normal person that's not a combat sports fan, they all can associate with this because it happens to them every day, really or proverbially, but it happens to them. They get punched in their face. And what are they going to do? Are you going to fight back or are you going to lay back down, right? That's what happens here. And that's why it's so relatable. Listen, a guy can get behind it like, man, wow, that's awesome, man. I would love to be. He's not fight, but he can get behind it because he's been in a straight fight before. He's punched someone with a bare knuckle. He's been punched with a bare knuckle. That's why, and that's why this sport is going to blow. It's going to be the biggest combat sport on the planet. It definitely is. It's 3 to 5 years out from that. It's just a matter of getting more people to watch it. Because the great thing about Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is we don't lose customers. Now, we did lose a few because our app sucked and we got it fixed. But aside, if you watch a bare knuckle fight, you want to watch another one. If you're a combat sports fan, no,
Yeah.
and I'm going to let you talk. If you're into ballet, you might not like bare knuckle fighting. But if you're a combat sports fan, you have to like bare knuckle fighting.
Yeah. You know, there's a bunch of fighters popping up through here and a bunch of fans talking about that speech of yours right now, inspirational. Like you talk about your pre-fight speech to the fighters and how you're telling them to fight their ass off. You just motivated a whole lot of our fans in the comments. I think people are fired up and I gotta agree with them. I've already hit the gym today. I'm ready to go back. You got me pumped up just talking about, that getting hit in the face and every day it's take the shot, bite down and go.
Life, man, look, I had some shit go on with me, a bunch of years back, and I had a tough time, and you decide, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do in that moment when you have to decide your life's on the line? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna go for it? You're gonna keep pushing forward, or you're gonna fold, right? And that's what it's all about. Like that's really what it's all about. When you get punched in the face in the middle of that squared circle, you have to decide: am I gonna punch back or am I gonna take a knee, right? And
Right.
but forget everything else about, I know that's fighting, but that's why the fans can associate with it because it happens to them every day, man. Like, I'm not fighting anymore, but I get punched in the face 10 times a day. I just do. Am I going to fold or am I going to keep pushing? And I keep pushing because I got the baddest men and women that fight for me. I got the most loyal fan base of any other combat sport in the world. And I got the best team in all of combat sports that would live and die for what I believe in and what they believe in. And that's why when I get punched in the face every day, I got to get back up and keep moving forward. And that's why bare knuckle fighting is so. I'm not just saying bare knuckle fighting championship. Bare knuckle fighting, it's in 65 different countries now. There's 65 different bare knuckle promotions in the world right now. There was one in June of 2018. There's 65 and probably more now. Why?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Crazy.
I didn't know there were that many. That's insane.
It's crazy, man. It's just crazy and it's weird, man. I just did a visit to the Middle East and look, man, I'm a humble guy, man. I just am. I go over there and I got like hundreds of people on. Let me take a picture. Let me take a picture. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on a second. You know what bare knuckle fighting is here? Like you know what we are here? Like I'm like, holy shit, man. Right? We're now listen, next year it's over. We're gonna be in Japan, we're gonna be in Thailand, we're gonna be in Bulgaria, we're gonna be in Spain. Whenever that war gets done in Russia and Ukraine, we're going to be in Russia. We're going to be in Mexico. We're going to be in Colombia. We're in the UK. We're in the United States. We're in Canada. We're everywhere in the world next year. It's amazing because we started literally ice skating rink. We started in an ice skating rink, begging for people to come. Like literally selling, I don't know, 1,200 tickets and giving out 600 tickets to fill the place up so people would come and watch it. And now we're selling 8,000 tickets at the big events, 9,000 tickets. We have more average viewership than NASCAR has. It's crazy. I was talking to a guy that does sponsors, and I'm like, how many people do you get? Like, what was your biggest event? It's like 4.5 million. Our biggest event was 5.4 million. Our average attendance, our average live viewership on our 4 platforms that we air it on is 1.5 million. Their average viewership is 1.2 million. Now, it's just unbelievable. I mean, people watch this stuff. Why? Again, because you relate to it, man. You can relate to it.
That's astonishing to have that much viewership in what's realistically not even six
Yeah,
years. And
man. It's unbelievable. It truly is. It's unbelievable. Like I'm living a dream, right? I mean, it's a nightmare and it's a dream, but I'm living. I said I was going to do this, and I'm doing it. And I quit 19 times along the way for a day, begging and borrow. I had to mortgage my house. I had to do anything I had to do to keep this thing going. And guess what? We're in a position right now. We're about to get some real serious partnership. We're actually announcing one either tomorrow or Wednesday that it's an unbelievable partnership for us. And then we're doing a big deal with a huge investment firm. And I don't know where this is going to go then. Because listen, we never had investment like to say, here, let's plan out 2022 and we're going to do 30 shows and here's the money for it. We said, let's do 30 shows. Okay. We found the money for the first show. Where are we finding the money for the second show? And we found it and we found it and we found it. We never had someone say, here's the money, go build this thing. And that's going to happen to us in about 2 months. When they say that, it's
wow.
over. Over. We never had the opportunity to plan and have the luxury to really market this thing right the way we should. It's over. I'm telling you, it's over. But we clawed and climbed and did anything and everything we had to do to get it this far. And again, I always said, like, I'm not saying we're the biggest thing out there. We're far from the biggest thing out there. But man, we are rolling, man. We are rolling,
You
and there's
know,
no stopping it. This train is rolling fast.
you don't have to be the biggest thing to be the best thing. And what you guys have is the best thing out there.
Yeah.
I you say you got a big announcement coming, and I can't tell you how many times it's popped up here, how many times it's been sent to me. People are asking the TV deal. Is the TV deal what's coming?
No,
Um,
I mean, it is, but it's a little bit more down the road. So I'll be very transparent. We talked to a major network and they actually opted out, not on our deal. They were doing major combat sports and they said they're not doing combat sports in 24, but we have another deal that's it's a good deal. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but it's a good deal. And it's going to widen our viewership by 10x. So not saying we'll
wow.
have 10 people, but the people that are there are going to have the ability to watch us. So it's a partnership that we're doing with a brand and someone that I think is going to really blow us up. And we got a lot of really great stuff happening. And man, like you ever get really good news and you can't sleep? Like I can't sleep. Like I don't sleep because I worry and I'm stressed and I'm like, where am I doing this and what am I doing this? But last week I had 5 days in a row of I couldn't sleep because it was good news. I was like, holy shit! Like, is this gonna stop? I'm like, the sky has to fall soon because this is this. So, man, I mean, I pray to God, man, that everything works out for us, and it isn't for me. And like I said, I got a team that lives and dies for this, man. And I got fighters that literally risk their life for me, my dreams, and their dreams. They risk their life for it, and I don't take that lightly. Like I really don't, man. And a lot of other promoters, it doesn't matter to them. It matters to me, man. I don't want to see these guys struggle. I want to have the ability to change their lives, and soon all their lives are going to change. It's going to because it's too good.
I think you've already accomplished that for a lot of these guys. And I look at just the way the shows are done. You have other promotions out there. The biggest thing they promote is the letters that are in the center of the canvas, the letters that are on the belt. You've maintained the growth of those letters along with, I mean, making guys stars. Lorenzo Hunt, me and him are from the same hometown. We went to the same schools together. He just messaged me today that the paper route he had in Elyria, Ohio, was the paper route I had right before he had it. He was delivering papers to my grandparents. But he's a star. His life is different now than what it was us growing up here.
Lorenzo fought for me MMA about 7 years ago. He was 2 wins and 5 losses. And now I'm not saying he's a superstar in bare-knuckle and he's a star in combat sports.
Yeah.
And this is his year. We renegotiated a nice contract for him and he's going to make money. He deserves it. Look, he's always promoting the sport. He goes out there, he fights his ass off every time, and he's great for us. So, those are the kind of guys that when we do have the opportunity, they're gonna get paid forward because they have to.
He helped create one of the most viral BKFC moments last year by handing his belt to Conor McGregor.
That was unbelievable.
Uh,
Unbelievable.
it really was. It really was.
That was an unbelievable moment for us.
Not to get too inside baseball, but did you get a phone call from the folks at TKO and UFC after Conor got in the ring? Were they upset?
I mean, you know what's weird? I'm probably one of the only promoters out there that actually have a really, really good relationship with them guys. You'll never, ever hear me talk bad about any other promoter out there unless they fuck somebody completely, right? Like,
Right.
I don't. That's why we're growing. Let me tell you why we're growing. We're growing because we concentrate on us. We concentrate on BKFC. And there's other bare-knuckle promoters out there that all they do is concentrate on BKFC. And if they concentrated on their own promotion, they might be causing some trouble. But because they're so worried about what BKFC is doing, and other MMA promotions are so worried about what the UFC is doing, they're not concentrating on themselves. They're never going to get there. I'm just telling you, we stay in our own lane. We concentrate on ourselves. I praise other promoters. I praise them all the time. You'll see me do interviews. All I do is talk good about them because, look, this isn't easy. And I talk good about them, and then they can't talk bad about me because they got nothing bad to say. Like, the only people
Yeah.
that real bad stuff about me, really, and I hate to use this word, but it's the haters. They just hate people that have success. All I ever want to do in my life is be around people that are successful. And I don't mean money. I mean, I like being around people that, like, a husband and wife that are the happiest couple ever. Like, I like being around them because that's going to transcend and make me and my wife be the happiest couple ever, right? That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want to be around people that are successful in what they do. And if you are, you're going to be successful. And if you hang around hate and you hang around people that are talking bad about people, you're going to end up talking bad about people and you ain't going to do shit with your life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that thing. You hang around four miserable people, you're going to be the fifth one.
That's it, man. Absolutely, man. And look, man, success breeds success. Happiness breeds happiness. It does. Hate breeds hate. It all does. And I'm not preaching. I'm just saying, man, like, you want to be
Yeah.
happy, hang around happy people. Go out and do happy things. You want to be fucking miserable? You want to be a hater? Go out and hate people. Go out and tell everybody that everybody else is bad. And guess what? You're going to be just as bad as them. I'm never going to be that in my life. Listen, BKFC can fall flat on its face, and I'm still going to have a smile on my face because I know what I did everything right. I did everything I could do right. I treated everybody right. I did everything I could do. The fighters were always first. The fans were always second. The team was always third, and I was always last. And that's the way it should be.
And that's great business advice. From the beginning of this piece of the conversation, talking about competition. And my career outside of podcasting and pro wrestling conversation things, I've always, stressed with the corporation I work for, like, don't worry about the competition. They're going to do their thing. And focus on our thing. Do our thing the best. And if they're doing something better than us, that's great. They can do that thing better than we do. But we have these 7 things we're doing better than they could ever hope to do. Let's just keep doing those great and let them be great at that thing.
100%, man. 100%. I mean, it's just the way I'm living now because I don't, listen, I'm fucking getting old, man. I don't want to fucking be miserable. I'm serious. I'm sick of being miserable and being unhappy and worrying about shit. Like, what am I worrying about, man? If you do the right thing, you don't have to worry. The word I live by always, and everybody on my team will tell you, especially my main guys, will say, you think I should do this or you think I should do that? And I always go like this. What's the right thing to do? What's the right thing? Not what's going to make us most successful. What's the right thing to do? We'll do that because if you do the right thing, it works out for you.
Yeah, that's great advice right there, man. My wife and I were having a conversation earlier today, and we were talking about, we all have those people in our lives, those negative people. We were having that conversation. Like, I just don't understand. Like, they shit on everything. Nothing's great. Everything's bad. And that's all they ever see. And it's all they ever feel like they get because I think they put that out into the world. My daughter would say they're manifesting it. into their own world. But you're right. If you're focused on being happy and positive and you're cheering for everyone, you're going to win and everyone around you is going to win.
You're going to, man. And, it's inevitable. We have great people around us. We have guys that are, like I said, man, my team's unbelievable. Like my team, when I say my team, it's, all the people that work for me at BKFC, they have to be unbelievable, because they're not, they got to go. And guess what? It's fucked up. I've been in business for 6 years and no one's ever quit on me. I've had 4 fighters out of 1,482 fighters. 4 fighters ever asked for a release. They love it because we treat them right, man. And listen, some of them might say we don't get them as many fights as they're supposed to, and they're right. Guess what? We just don't have enough room. But we never try to fuck someone. There's everybody else out there that's trying all the time, man. I want these guys to make so much money, man. I want to bonus them all the time. But at the same time, we got a business to run. So everybody on my team, if everything happens that is supposed to happen, they're going to be very, very happy people. All the fighters are going to be happy. The fans are going to be happier. It's just the way it's going to roll. And, eventually I'm going to be happy. I'm really happy. It's just a matter of getting through a few more obstacles, and it's all she wrote, man. Listen, I don't know. And this is the only thing that I'll pat myself on the back for. I don't know how many people could have went through everything that I've went through in life and then in BKFC and still been here right now, 6 years later, going, we're about to take the world over. But we are. We're going to take the fucking combat sports world over. We are.
I would say that's just that fight in you, right? That's that fighter spirit from being around fighters your whole life.
It's that.
You know,
Listen, my mom, I give most of my tenacity credit to my mom. My mom was beat up very bad. She was left in a wheelchair as a quadriplegic, and she was like my hero. And when I had a bad moment in my life and I was going to jump off a bridge because I was depressed. I had a bad day. I wasn't like a depressed guy, but I had a bad day. And I grabbed the edge of the bridge and I pictured this picture that my mom painted with her mouth. She had a paintbrush in her mouth. And she painted these beautiful pictures. I don't have it here. It's at the office. These beautiful roses with her mouth. And I was like, wait a second, pussy, you're going to quit? And your mother couldn't use her arms or legs and went to college and painted pictures with her mouth, and you're gonna quit, pussy? I'm like, you ain't quitting. And that's really what drives me. Is every time I have bad days, I just go, man, my mom had every reason to quit. She should have quit, and she didn't. And because she didn't, I'll never quit. I'll never quit. Listen, there might come a time where there's no more money left and we got to go out of business, but I won't quit. I will never quit. I'll just go, hey, look, it just didn't work. But I'm not quitting. I won't quit.
And there's something about having a mom who was your hero who wouldn't quit. We lost my mom in December of 2018. She lost her battle with cancer. And you know what, man? My mom never had an easy life. The world was not kind to her. But man, my mom never quit smiling. She never quit being kind to people who weren't kind to her. She was always happy. She always seen joy in everything. And whenever you have a mom who puts that in you, it's something that just doesn't shake from a son. It doesn't leave.
Nah, it doesn't. I mean, it's different. Look, my dad was a hardcore badass guy. Like I said, trained 7 world champions, bad dude. Had some really good, things that he taught me in life. Had some really bad things that happened in life, to him and to me. And, but it was my mom that gave me the real fight. It was the real fight. When she had every chance to quit and she didn't quit. Like she could have quit, right? Like I tell some of these fighters, like, man, you could have quit and no one could have said anything about it. And you kept going and you won. And that's why here you get a bonus. Like, because of the guys that defy the odds, right? It's the odds defiers in life that really stand out. And it's not that they stand out. Look, I could end up making, millions and millions of dollars from this. And I couldn't give a shit, man. The money, I'm not in this for money, man. I'm really, truly not. I made a little bit of money in other things that I did. And I bought this beautiful house and I was like, man, everything's going to change. We're going to be happy. It was the worst thing I've ever done. Like, money doesn't mean shit. Right now, listen, we need money to live. But big money, I really, truly, I'm not saying this to blow smoke. I want to change people's lives. And that's why I'm put on earth. I'm put on earth to make people's lives better. And if I can make the people that are dedicating their lives to me better, then I won. And that's really what I'm in it for. I'm in it for everything. I'm starting up a foundation pretty soon for physically and sexually abused children. And that's something that really hits home to me. And once I do that, I know I won.
Yeah, yeah. And you're able to use the platform you already built and things you have going to help people, especially kids who have been in that situation. That's something that brings great karma and energy your direction. That's something that can, if you can impact those people whose lives have been tragically impacted by circumstances they can't control, that's an amazing thing to do.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, that's the story, man. The long and the short of it. That's why we're going to win. We're going to win because we're in it for a reason. We're not in it to take another company down. We're not in it to be the richest people in the world. We're not in it for any of that. We're in it to change lives. And I think if you're in it for the right reason, you have to win. I think.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah, I think if you do the right things with the right motives and you do it all the right way, it can only go right. It can't go left on you.
Yeah, I agree, man. So, get into BKFC a little bit, man. We're gonna have the biggest year we've ever had. So many big things planned. We have more events than ever. We have more states that opened up. We have big things happening next week. I have an unbelievable meeting next Tuesday that could change our life. Again, it's going to be an epic year.
I think we lost you there for a second. Thank you, everyone, sticking with us. I think we have some technical difficulties. Trying to get Dave back in here. Looks like we lost Dave somehow. We got a lot of you still joining us. We've been live with BKFC boss David Feldman. I think he has technical difficulties on his side. Dropped off. Getting him back in. Think we're bringing him back. We got folks asking Dave when you Fargo. Will that be? Is that a goal for you to sell out the Wells Fargo Center?
100%, man. I went to I took my daughter to a concert there, a Drake concert actually, and I was like, I'm gonna sell this place out, and they're like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna sell that place, I'm gonna sell it out, and
how many people is Wells Fargo?
18,000, I think.
I say it's like 18, 20,000, something like that.
Well, maybe we sell 15,000, but to me, that's still a sellout. We're gonna sell that place. We are. I mean, everywhere I go, anywhere around. When are you doing a fight here? When are you doing a fight here? When are you doing a fight here? Plus, I got some really popular Philly guys, that are going to be on the card. So, we're hoping to get that nod in February, and then we can start planning. So that's what we're hoping. But it's going to be an epic. It's going to be an epic year for BKFC. We expanded the team. We got some amazing team members. We're going to be adding to the roster. If this deal gets done overseas, which I think it's going to on Wednesday, maybe announce it on Friday. It's going to be could be one of the most stacked cards you've ever seen in any combat sport. Like unbelievably stacked card, and we're just waiting to get all that done. And I think we're going to get it done on this week.
That's exciting. This week for us, we have you tonight. Tomorrow, I have the Super Samoan Mark Hunt joining us.
He's a bad dude.
Bad man. Legend in combat sports. A lot of talk. A lot of BKFC guys are calling him out. They're wanting that fight. Again, no inside thing. I don't need to know
Now
what
we're
the deal is.
gonna.
But if you could pick, who would it be?
All I'll say is he's been very nice to me. His management team reached out. We're definitely going to talk. I just got to travel a lot this week, so I don't know if it's going to be this week or next week, but we're going to be talking. I mean, he's a legend, and I mean, I don't know. I think this sport could have been made for him too, right? Like that's his style. Nice guy, very respectful, and he just wants to bang. He wants to fight, and we're going to see if we can make that happen for him. But don't know if it's going to be this week or next week, but they're saying the right things. His management team is saying the right things, and I like to hear some of the things that they were saying, and we'll have that conversation, and if we can put it together, we have to put it together soon.
For me, as a fan, my dream scenario is Mark Hunt versus Lorenzo Hunt in October with a Hunt for Red October themed poster somehow. I don't know how you make that happen, but
I mean, man, that could be good. I mean, I would also like to see, him get a fight and then maybe fight for a championship, maybe fight Ben Rothwell, Mick Terrell. I mean, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of other big names that are coming in. Those are some of the announcements I'm about to make in the heavyweight and the 205-pound division. So there's going to be a lot of opposition for him. A lot of people that are going to want to take his head off. I mean, he's the headhunter.
Yeah.
But I mean,
you want to make a big name. If you can drop him, that's a way to go.
He, like I said, man, and some people think I'm full of shit. Like, I don't care if you're the biggest star in the world, but if you treat me like shit and you treat my employees like shit, I don't want you, right? And he's been nice, and that was a good starting point, right? You've been nice, respectful, and it's something that we can talk about. Because listen, the end of the day is, I'm out there bleeding and doing anything I have to do to get the money. I'm paying you, so I'm going to pay you. Be nice to me and my team, and if you're nice to me and my team, that's the first start right there. And we're going to have a lot of options. This year is going to be epic, man. I just wish I could tell you guys some of the things that I'm talking about every day, but the thing is, it'll ruin my negotiations. But it's just unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. Some really big things. We're targeting. I know we had California legalized. We're targeting that for the end of April. That'll be Knucklemania. That's going to be a huge card. We have a lot of other things about to pop as well, and it's just going to be an epic year for us, man. If you have any other quick last minute questions, I'm gonna have to get out of here. Just shoot. I got about 5.
So where are we at? How many states are you guys sanctioned in right now?
We're sanctioned in 28, but I mean, you can't really go by that. We probably could be sanctioned in 42, but there's states that we're just not going to do shows in right now, right? Like, we're not going to go to Alaska and Hawaii right now and do shows. It's just too difficult, right? There's smaller, there's least populated states. We're just not going to do shows there right now. I think the best answer to that question would be, we're probably in 4 states. We're probably not in 4 states we want to be in. And once we get those 4 states, then you might as well say we have the whole United States.
Yeah, there's kind of no sense in investing in C and D markets. It's focused on those A and Bs, and everything else can fall into play later on.
Yeah, man. And you know what? Listen, it's not just that there's C and Ds. It's that we can only do so many shows, right? And I want to say that because I don't want to take away from small. Eagles versus Bucks, man. I don't know. I got to go with the Birds. The Birds got to win tonight. I mean, they're on a bad 4 out of 5 game skid, but they're winning tonight. So bet on the Eagles. They're winning. And if they don't win, I hope you still watch BKFC. We're almost where we want to be. We've never been turned down by any other countries. We were turned down one at first, and every other one is just opening up for us. So once we got approved with those ABC unified rules, I think that the dominoes just fell in our favor, and I don't think we're going to have a lot of regulatory troubles anymore.
That's awesome. That's really, really good. We got another. This is a good question that I didn't even think to be asking you. Cyborg, Chris Cyborg. Has there been conversations? Is she on the radar for BKFC?
Yeah, she's fighting this Saturday, and we talked to the management team about talking to her after the fight. There was no didn't want to mess her mind up, get her unfocused. So actually, two of my guys on my team we're doing tryouts in LA on Saturday, and then they're going to go to the fight and check her out and talk to her a little bit. But yeah, she's definitely on the radar. Definitely something I would love to get her over here, a legend in the sport,
Yeah,
and give.
yeah,
That would be my way of you know giving Christine Ferreira a little bump, a little bonus.
yeah. I think Cyborg, without a doubt, legend in women's combat sports. I think she may possibly be my wife's favorite uh, female fighter ever. Is Cyborg. The way she would just destroy people, it was crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy. And look, she's a legend, so it would be great. And we have a lot of them coming up. We really do, man. It's going to be an unbelievable year. If we dot the I's and cross the T's, things that in the next, I don't know, 30 days or so, it's game over, man. Game over for all the work, I mean, listen, man, I box with every badass boxer in the world champions, Bernard Hopkins, I was sparring partner. I mean, everybody that you could imagine. And you know how many times I sat here in my house and cried because I was like, man, is this going to work out? Is it going to work out? To be able to make those tears and all the struggle that everybody did worth it, man, that would be that would be just be. Um, Amanda Nunez probably not with her, but
Yeah, it seems pretty solid. She's done.
yeah, she's done. She's living a good life, and she deserves it. But got a lot of. I can't wait to announce this show that we're working on right now. It's going to be big for everybody, and I think everybody's going to be excited. I do, and I'm just pumped, man. I'm pumped for 2024. It's going to be a great year for everybody.
It's exciting. It's very exciting. I thank you personally for giving us the time here to have you on. It's greatly appreciated. And beyond that, I thank you for starting up BKFC, giving me another combat sport outlet to just really fall in love with and have some passion about the way I had about other combat sports in the past. But I don't know, it grabbed a hold of me, and it's kind of been a cornerstone of the whole podcast. We talk a lot of pro wrestling because I put pro wrestling as a combat sport, even though there's a lot of theater. But I think I spend more time talking BKFC than I do any other combat sport outside of pro wrestling. It's been great to have it exist from a fan perspective.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the support. I appreciate everybody spreading the good word, man. Listen, man, my people are good people, man. We want to see good for everybody. And, I'll leave you with two messages. If you ever want to do anything in life that's realistic, don't let anybody tell you can't, because if I would have listened, I would have never been here. And just fight your ass off, man. Fight your ass off. And like I said, if you want to be happy, you want to be successful, hang around happy and successful people. If you want to be miserable, hang around miserable people. It's so easy. It's such an easy formula, man. It's just unbelievable. But man, I do really appreciate. I like doing these podcasts. I'll definitely come back on. I appreciate you having me on. I really appreciate all your fans, all the kind words that they've been saying. I've been looking at them, but couldn't answer them all. You got some really great fans there, and thank you very much for having me. And again, thanks for the support. And I, look forward to having a kick-ass year this year.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. I look forward to 2024 and BKFC. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, all the fans who checked us out. Tune in tomorrow, live on Instagram, 7 p.m. The Super Samoan Mark Hunt will be joining the Don't Say the F Word podcast as well. We'll talk about his legacy and what he's hoping for his future. And who knows, maybe it's those 4 letters. We'll see.
Take care, brother.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care, Dave. Thank you. Again, everyone, thank you for checking out the F Word. We're a pro wrestling and combat sports podcast. We do not use the F word when we talk about professional wrestling. Don't let your friends use it either. And if you're checking out these BKFC fight posters I got up here behind me, these are all done by the Donnybrook Company, so you can go and check them out. They're on Instagram. You can find them on TikTok. It's the Donnybrook Company.
They'll be tagged in this whenever this gets shared. If you didn't catch this whole podcast, this whole interview with David Feldman, you will be able to find it later on tonight on Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, Google Podcasts, all those places. I appreciate everyone checking us out. Please make sure you follow us, share this, subscribe everywhere. And we will be back later on this week after we're going to go check out some Monday Night Raw. And we'll be back tomorrow. The Super Samoan, Mark Hunt, will be joining us. We hope you guys have a great night. Mark the Monster is out. How do I hit this button, guys? I don't know what to do.